This is not another AI tool, but I believe this is the future of malware analysis. So we're gonna see with MCP protocol how you can turn any single malware CLI-based analysis tool suddenly to an AI-powered tool. Doesn't matter if it's old or new. In this video, I will start by explaining the concept, then I will show a demo, and at the end, I will show how to build it and install it. Disclaimer, this is not a professional malware analysis, but this is certainly where the future is going with AI. But also this might be interesting for beginners or people who want to experiment and have a better feeling for malware analysis using AI. So this is the use case we will be using to illustrate the power of MCP AI. What you see on screen is nothing but a typical malware static analysis situation where you have some malware file you download from some platform like Malware Bazaar in this case. You put it in an isolated VM, and then in your VM terminal, you start using some typical malware static analysis tools like strings, object dump, xdump, but also some advanced tools like Jidra or other tool. So now we'll see how this can be improved by introducing MCP AI. So if you remember the topology of like a normal static analysis, we didn't have this, so we introduced this, but also introduced this part. So actually we were before from directly analyzing manually using these commands, the malware file. But this is the catch. Now, instead of manually doing that, what we're gonna do, we're gonna expose all these tools. This typical malware static analysis tool, we will turn them into basically MCP tools. Like you can imagine this is like some tools that will expose to the AI. And what I mean by AI, we have two parts. We have the MCP client. In this case, it's nothing but Cloud Desktop. This is the MCP client where we're gonna chat and discuss with the AI. Of course, because it's Cloud Desktop, but it's an MCP client. So on the back end, he's connected to Anthropic AI. We will have all the LLM intelligence. And now what happens when we will ask simply the MCP client, which is in this case Cloud Desktop, can you please do the malware static analysis, or can you do this? And then using MCP, which actually using implicitly JSON RPC with MCP server, it will see that there are a bunch of tools available to us as an AI. And then based on that, it will start using whatever it judges that it's interesting for this analysis, and automatically will pull the output, analyze it, do another one, then analyze it. And of course, every time it uses the AI in the background, which actually, if I explain it a little bit more, it gets these outputs, it make its own like big prompt, it send it to AI, get it back, and bring it to it. So what we did here pretty much, it's kind of like shifting the intelligence to the AI. And this becomes really brilliant and amazing with the quality of LLMs, but also the reinforcement learning part, where we're gonna see that even if the MCP client, maybe he was not trained for that kind of files, but with reinforcement learning, which kind of like human logic, and seeing that all these tools are available, it will start really reasoning like, not like a world-class analyst, probably not like a professional analyst as of today, but as like a beginner analyst, where it will start using the tools, experimenting with them, using the switches and all the greps and all the fancy search that like it knows, and it will continue switching between all the tools till it's reached like a good conclusion and builds a report for you. So that's how amazing is this. Like the brilliant part here is we turned not only one tool, not only two tools, but all the toolkit that we have now become orchestrated by the AI. So now we're gonna see, before I explain or show how to install that or how to build this MCP server, I will show you that in action. I will show you the chat so you can see all this fancy stuff going on. Let's see that in action. So this is simply the chat bot of Claude from Anthropic that you download. I have it here, but also I downloaded the infected file, which is malware. It's called malware. And then I will simply ask Cloud Desktop chat, please do the analysis for me. That's it, really. I advise to put also this prompt, this extra prompt. The first one is to not execute the file, which is important. In this case, it's not necessary because this is a Windows executable and this VM is isolated from internet and it's a Mac VM, so it will not work anyway. Also, it's good to ask to not move the file around, but it's even better if you cut access. Actually, it's a must to cut internet access for this VM. And at the end, I'm just asking to not create any fishy prompt that might cause problems in the backend, just as a safety, even though it doesn't matter. Even whatever he puts, worst case, that chat will be stopped by Anthropic and you can start a new one. So let's see it in action now. So it's searching now. Okay, so he's looking at the file now. He can see the file and you can see he already knows it's an executable. I guess he did a file here. Yeah, exactly. Now he will be using strings to get some ASCII information from inside the binary. So look at the headers. Now he's doing DD. Now he's using XXD. Looking for patterns. Now xdump, and because even the name of the person who compiled it. Now he's looking object dump to try to see if there are any network DLL related. Now he's looking for with xdump for any obfuscated IP, and here is the report. So this is amazing. So this is the file, it's executable. This is the PE sections, and he can see that the malware already imports these critical libraries, kernel and user. Now let's see how it works. I will just show you the SHA-256. So you can do the same if you want. What you have to do, and don't worry, you don't need to do that manually. When you install Cloud Desktop, you have to have this in the config. So you have to have this MCP server. That's the one I will be using. It's called Desktop Commander. Kudos to the guy who built it. And that saves you the time from building your own MCP calls and doing the Python libraries for MCP. He did all the job. So you need to have it configured here, but you don't need to do it manually. You can just install it with npx and it will do the job. It will configure Cloud. It will do all the necessary work. So now the other parts I want to show you is where are these tools. So when you install it, basically it's putting this server in your laptop. In this case, the most interesting one is server.js. And here you can see all the MCP tools. For example, getConfig, read file, write file, list directories, search files, and the most important one, sorry, let me go back, is I'm looking for the execution one. It's execute command. Yeah. So this is the main one that we'll be using implicitly. After you install this and finish installing it, you have to restart Claude. And then when you come to Claude, you click on this, you will see the MCP tools are ready to go. You can see them here. And the main one that will be used during this research is read the output, read the files, and also execute the commands. Execute command, yeah. So that's it. That was a quick walkthrough about MCP and how we can use it. If you guys want a longer video where I go step by step the installation and everything that's happening in the beginning, I can do that. But also if you want to do that next time for network security, I think that will be exciting. I'm happy to do that as well. Yeah, thank you.